And our coach is going to share her experience from being a I experienced as a digital transformational person or talent to becoming a product strategy expert. But before then, let me tell you a bit about Emigrate. So Emigrate, at Emigrate, what we do is tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement for individuals who want to become globally attractive, who have passion in tech or are active in tech, building a career in tech, or are tech enthusiasts, right? So we start from beginners to professionals in the tech space. We talk more and mostly around tech-enabled pathways. And so today we're talking about how to migrate to the UK using the UK Global Talent route. Again, like I said, tech-enabled visa opportunities where we focus on. We have open consultation session. I think last week we did an open consultation session, which was very useful. And a lot of people got free information on how to package themselves, how to present themselves, profile themselves to become globally attractive, and what they should be doing now in building that profile and building their experience or building that portfolio, with regards to becoming globally attractive, right? Some of the previous editions, we've talked about migrating using the O1 visa to the US. We've talked about how to pathways to Australia using tech pathway to Australia. We've talked about tech pathway to the UK. We've talked about tech pathway to the US, right? Bringing people who have lived this path, who has, experienced it to share their experience, not just hypothetical. Real people who apply for the O1 visa, got it, and moved to the United States. People or persons who got the tech talent visa for Australia and moved to Australia. And people who, got the UK tech talent visa and moved to the UK. So there are several videos from Emigrate previous episode editions that are online on YouTube. And a simple Google search will pop those videos up. Do where to use this material, use this resource, to better understand what you should be doing and what are the various tech-enabled visa opportunities and how you can leverage them. But if you're already here, thanks for logging in. You would also hear directly from a coach who has, gone through the process of relocating and migrating to a new community, leveraging on a tech visa or a tech pathway, right? Okay, coming editions, we'll be looking at sessions around UK tech startup, UK startup visas. What are the requirements? What do you need to know with respect to UK startup visa? We have another session on UK Tech Nation visa, global talent, move to the US as a global talent, and we're having a session on Canada startup visa for those of us that are interested in migrating or relocating to Canada. And also we're looking forward to having a session around the French tech visa. These are all tech pathway. And if you are interested or if you're in tech, someone that's in tech, it's a good opportunity to spread the message, spread the word. They should be on this platform, right? Emigrate. Like I said before, it's a tech-enabled pathway to relocate settlement. We talk about countries and economies that are trying to attract global talent, leveraging on tech from the UK to the US to France to Canada to Australia, as the case may be, and even more countries that are opening up their doors to tech talent, right? What is Emigrate? We are a platform that helps you become globally attractive. We take your tech career journey, tech profile, and we help you position rightly to become globally attractive. The visa is only a side effect of our objective. Our objective is not just to get you across to a new location, but our goal and our objective is to make you globally attractive, right? To make you globally relevant, globally sought after, to make you a thought leader in your sphere, in your field, leveraging on tech. So when you get a visa, it's an effect of being globally attractive. What can immigrate services cover? For starters, we give general information. We have information sessions like this one, general inquiry. We also do coaching and hand-holding for individuals who want to leverage on our platform to become globally attractive. We do assessment of your qualification status. We do self-directed roadmap to qualify for a tech-enabled visa. So for example, if you are new, you're a beginner, we can put you on a roadmap to say in the next 6 to 12 months, these are things that you should tick off the box to be able to become globally attractive. So we have roadmap to a globally attractive tech profile. We help you to understand, this is where you are, this is where you're trying to be, and these are the steps, these are the roadmap steps that you should take. And we have a community that, sort of encourage individuals to work that part. So you're not alone, you're in good company. Some of the examples of tech talent visa is that we review is the UK Global Talent and the UK Global Talent application and the endorsement process, right? So that's immigrate. These are some of the free services that we offer. General information. We have several communities that are free, and you can ask questions and engage in those communities and get answers. We have monthly open days, which is free for the immigrate community. We have videos on YouTube. They are online. They are free. We have open consultation. These are free consultation. Visa-specific office hour, free sessions that we offer. And we have sessions for short inquiry, which is 10 minutes, 20 minutes, that we offer free of charge. If you're interested in any of these sessions, you want to take it, a step further, please log on to bincom.net/emigrate. And there's a short form you just fill and we'll get back to you. We also have premium services on the platform for immigrates. Immigrate Circle, it's a premium community where we attend to individual on a case-by-case basis. Personalized coaching session between 30 minutes to 1 hour coaching session. We have standard package that we have to review. Standard package review and introductions. We have immigrates premium services that starts from, for beginners who want to start their journey in tech, to becoming globally attractive. So we have a program that runs between 1 year, 12 months, 24 months, 1 year to 2 years. And at the end of the program, you would become globally attractive because we have courses, events that we attend, coaches that will put you through in that time frame to make you globally attractive. And we have customized custom service that is tailored to your specific situation, need, or where you are on your journey, right? And again, if you're interested in the premium service, bincom.net/emigrate, you would get a short form fill and we would get back to you, right? To request for immigrate services, you can also go to blog.bincom.net/emigrate pricing, right? And we would be in contact with you. Some of the immigrate packages that we are actively coaching around is the move to the UK as a global talent. The country of focus there is the United Kingdom. The type of visa is the UK Global Talent Visa, which otherwise known as Technician Visa. Move to the UK in 3 to 6 months. This focus, again, is United Kingdom. It's focusing on the startup visa or the UK innovator visa, right? There's a campaign around that going on. Move to the UK 3 to 6 months. If you're interested, please drop a message on the chat and we'll get across to you. There's a campaign going on at the moment that enables you move to the UK, leveraging on startup visa. It's a fast route, I can say that. Move to the US as a global talent. This is focus, country of focus is United States. Focus here is the US O1 visa for individual with extraordinary ability or achievement. Don't let the word extraordinary put you off. Everybody is extraordinary. We just need to sit down with you during our coaching session, profile the work you have done, and you find that you've done some extraordinary things. Also, we have moved in 2022. These are tech-enabled visa pathways to explore the US, the UK, Canada, France, Germany, depending on the unique circumstances depending on the unique circumstances around your travels or your relocation or your career. We can walk you through these visa paths and these tech-enabled routes. UK tech-enabled visa pathway focuses on is United Kingdom, and focus on skilled workers. We have packages around these visas pathway, and the underlying factors for these is that they are tech-enabled visas. Right, so I mentioned we have several communities, many of which are free. And there are a lot of activities going on in this community. So from WhatsApp to Telegram to Facebook to LinkedIn to YouTube, we have very active communities across this platform. And if you are one of the people in this community, or if you're the first time here, please join any of this community. Being engaging, the interactive. People have won free consultation session by just being interactive. People have gotten information, real-time information by just being interactive. So share, comment, like, engage on this platform. Don't just, join the WhatsApp or the Telegram and keep quiet. Engage, engage. And you would be glad you did. Trust me on that one. Other services from Bincom Dev Center, the Bincom Global Tech Program. Right, this is a 1 to 2 year program that takes you from beginner level to a professional expert level in any chosen field in tech, being a frontline or back end or full stack developer, whatever your career goal is. You want to be a data analyst, Python expert, or you want to be a product manager and a project manager. We have this program is still out for you as a beginner or as an intermediary. In this field or in these areas, we can take you to expert level between 1 year to 2 years, right? Simple, the goal is to learn skill, gain experience, and gain exposure. That's what the program promises to give you. New skills, advanced skills, give you experience, put you in a platform where you can work on real life products and turn out real life products, and also give you exposure where you can talk to clients, work on real life projects, work in a big team, and just grow your confidence and grow your skill set in the process. So Bincom Global Tech Program, beginner level, intermediate level, it's open. Go to www.bincom.net/global tech. Short form again, just fill it and we'll get back to you. And there are different sessions running, there are different cohorts. Other services, we also have a mentoring platform. If you need a mentor, or if you're a mentor and you want to offer your skill to a community, this is the platform that you should engage with, the Bincom mentoring platform. Become a platform become a mentor on a structured mentoring platform. So it's a structured mentoring platform. You have cohorts, you have individuals that you can mentor and grow your mentoring skill, or you need a mentor that can walk you through your journey. Log on to Bincom mentoring platform and register there. Thank you. Also, this is one of my favorite platform amongst many. Last by Bincom. This is a cohort platform where you work it's like an accelerator platform where you work with individuals with passion, light skill to build a product between 3 to 6 months, right? So Last by Bincom helps you build a product-led digital technology with a team, all right? So you want to build a product, you know, and you don't want to build alone. There are teams, there are individuals that you can partner with to join their cohort, and you guys can come up with a creative product, digital-led product that you want to build and build it. You know, there are several, a couple of cohorts at the moment that have gone through this program, and they are building and have built amazing products, right? So bincom.net/labs, it's an amazing platform where you meet people with like mind, you know, trying to build one product or the other. So if there's a need that you are, you know, that you're trying to find a solution to, and you don't know how to go about it, you may want to partner with Last by Bincom to build that product. If you're looking for skill, you know, in terms of, or experience in terms of building a product, a digital-led product, Last by Bincom is also a fantastic place to grow your skills, to grow your exposure, and to grow your portfolio, right? So yeah, other services on Bincom, Headhunter Services, where we help you land roles, jobs, you know, in different locations from Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, United States, United Kingdom. We help we help you connect, we help recruiter connect to you, and we help you connect to recruiters also across various economy, across various markets. Yes, so if you are in that space, if you're a professional, you are a full stack developer, you are a top-notch product manager, you have your portfolio ready, and you're not looking to move, you just want to work remotely from where you are, it's fantastic, right? We are that platform you want to engage with to help you position your CV and make you globally attractive so that you can be poached from any part of the world, right? So bincom.net/headhunter is where you want to go register in, and we'll get in touch with you. Some of the available tech-enabled visa routes for relocation and settlement, I've made mention of a few of them, or some of them already. For the UK, we have the startup visa, we have the innovator visa, we have the global talent visa, which we'll be talking about today extensively. We have the skilled worker visa route, and this is for the UK. For the US, we have the O1A and EB1 visa, right? For Canada, we have startup visa for Canada. For France, we have the French tech visa. Other European nations also have their own startup visa, freelance visa, digital nomad visa, you know, depending on the nation or the country you have. And also there's also the Australian tech talent visa, right? The lowest common denominator for every of these visa, for every one of these visa, is be globally attractive, right? Right. What they're looking out for is someone that is globally attractive, and that is what every nation, every economy, every ecosystem is trying to attract. They are trying to attract the most globally attractive individual to come and work in their own economy or in their ecosystem. So at Immigrate, we're not trying to relocate you, like I said, only. We're trying to position you to make you become globally attractive. Then relocation will not be an offshoot or a byproduct of being globally attractive if you choose to relocate, that is, right? So I've run through some of the opportunities, some of the visa routes that we are focused on, pathway to settlement. We're focused on only tech-enabled opportunities. You can move with family for most of the visa we've talked about. For tech visas, you can move with your family. If you're a beginner, no, don't fret, right? Don't say, oh, this is for established tech people. No, it's for everybody. I talked about Bincom Global Tech program that can take you from beginner to an expert level, right? Or from intermediary to becoming a full stack or an expert level. So we can handhold you through that journey, right? So there's a space for everybody. And this is not an exhaustive list to be clear on some of the opportunities, right? We also have immigrate open days. We also have consultation sessions. So if you want to know more about this tech-enabled visa route that suits your specific position or where you are, you can book in and sign in for any of our open day consultation session. I'll be glad to talk to you. Yeah. So for those people that say, okay, I've heard you, but I don't think I'm qualified yet. I don't think I have what it takes. Today we're going to be talking to our coach, Yanju Lawal, who is going to share a journey, right, from being a product manager. She's going to go through her, how she found out about, UK global talent, how she applied, what was the ups and downs, what you should be looking out for, how she got, references and stuff like that. And just listen to her, write down your question in the chat, drop your question in the chat if you have a question. And after her session, I'll come back. I will do a question and answer session where she'll be taking out time to answer some of your questions. So if you have a question, once the question pops in your head, type it in the chat. Don't wait to the end of the presentation, right? Hi, Woju, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you for taking our time to join us today. We're glad and we're excited that you are here with us today. We have a couple of individuals listening to you today, and they are divided into 4 major categories. They are the beginners who are tech enthusiasts that are just getting into tech. There are people that are already in tech, who are building a career in tech. And there are also experts who, they built a successful career in their local economy, and they're looking at what's global talent about. And these are the various demographics. There are also people that are switching to tech. They've established their career path before now in a different field, many of them in business. Now they're switching over to tech. So they'll be listening to you. Just want to give you a feel of what the kind of people that are in the room. They'll be listening to you. And we just want to hear, your journey, how you moved from being a product manager. First of all, how did you start, and how have you progressed thus far? So I'll hand over to you now to take it away.
Okay, thank you so much. And thanks for the opportunity for being here. It's really a privilege. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I'm always very excited when I have to share my story, my journey. So before I go on, I just want to be sure that people are listening and I'm not just talking to myself. So if you're here and you're listening, just drop a comment in the chat, just say something. I just want to know that you're there and I'm talking to you. Just type something. Thank you, Kosi, listening. Okay. We're here. Kemi, fantastic. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? Fantastic, John. Thank you, John. Okay. So I know people are here and listening. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. My name is Yanju Lawal. I am a product manager. I am still a product manager. So when they say transitioning from being a product manager to a UK global talent, my position hasn't changed. I'm still a product manager. I started my journey as a relationship manager. So my background, I studied, let me start from what I studied in school so that you can understand for those who are in my shoes. So I studied physiology in University of Ilorin. And when I graduated, physiology, for most people that don't know, it's one of the paramedical courses, the basic medical science course. And, it's for people that maybe wanted to study medicine or wanted to study something medical related. At the time, I wanted to study medicine, but you know how JAMB is now. So I eventually got into physiology, which was good for me because, it was a 4-year course. I had a lot of time to do other things. I was a class rep for 4 years, so I was able to build my leadership skill along the line. It sort of built me somewhat. And at the end of it, I told myself I wasn't going back to study medicine. So I decided to do a master's in public health. Now, while doing my master's, before my master's, I started working with a financial services company in Nigeria as a relationship manager. And you know how it is. As a relationship manager, you have to deal with a lot of customers, it's a very busy type of role. But I also wanted to sort of solidify my experience, my background in medical world. So I did a master's in public health just to give myself that self-actualization, right? And when I was done, I knew that I didn't want to go back to the medical world. I was enjoying what I was doing, relating with people. It was fun. And I just did it with all my might. But I mean, I backed my my master's, so I was good. I was just going on. And then after a few years, I got moved to the marketing department within the same organization. And what that afforded me was to understand the way customers are acquired, or the science behind acquiring customers, if you get what I mean. So beyond me trying to sell or manage relationships, I was also able to understand how to create awareness and do all of those things. So that sort of started my digital experience journey, right? Because beyond the above the line marketing type, there was also the digital marketing, which I was really interested in and all that. And that also helped me to understand the business a lot more and solidified my product knowledge, right? Because you can't sell what you don't know. Now, while I was doing all that, I didn't like, I didn't have any global talent type thoughts, right? I was just enjoying what I was doing. And then after that period, I did that for about 3 years. And then I moved, the company started off a digital arm of the business, from a traditional business. The company wanted to have a digital segment, and I was moved to that team as a pioneer member of the team. And it was sort of like a startup within a structured organization. So imagine running a startup within a structured business, trying to just understand that. So it gave me an opportunity to learn a lot about digital business, tech, and all of that. And I was practically self-learning and self-teaching myself, trying to take on a lot of trainings just to understand things, because I was sort of thrown into the deep sea, so to speak. So I had to swim or drown, right? So all through that journey was just me learning and just doing a lot of training, talking to people, how do you guys do this, and all that. But one thing I did that I made sure I did was not to limit my knowledge within the country. Like, I was always looking at the global picture, what's happening in the global space, what are they doing differently, what can we do, what sort of learnings can we incorporate, and all that. And sort of going through that journey from practically nothing to building that business up to a point where, in the company, I worked there for over 10 years. So I sort of understood it from the base, and, that really helped me to get that solid foundation. Now, I was comfortable. I was doing very well. I was doing well within that same role, but within my role at the point. I mean, of course, I was moving through the ranks, but I just felt like I needed more. Like, I just needed to go out of my comfort zone to do a lot more for myself, and also improve my career, my career progression and my knowledge generally. So I decided that I wanted to go into a core tech company that didn't have the traditional backing, to just sort of explore and see how things are done there. And, and I think that was one of the best decisions I've ever made, right? Because sometimes we find ourselves in our comfort zones and we're like, I'm doing well here, everybody knows me, I know everybody, I'm doing my job. And sometimes we just need to take ourselves out of that comfort zone and just test and see how you can actually thrive in that environment. And when I got to the other company, it was an awesome experience. Like, it was a lot of work, trust me, because I was supposed to be a product manager for one arm of the business, but somehow I ended up being a product manager for 2 major subsidiaries, and also overseeing the product management organization across all the subsidiaries of the company. So it was a lot of work, but I didn't mind, because I knew that I wasn't going to stay for so long. I just wanted to explore and just do all the things I wanted to do and validate some of the things I'd done before, I realized that I had a lot of potential. I was like, every time I do something, it was always like, and you know, coming from a place where you feel like, am I sure I'm doing the right thing, because you're practically doing it for the first time sometimes, and all, to a place where this is their bread and butter, this is how they do things. So, you know, you still being able to come up tops and deliver exceptionally was something that was amazing. So I said to myself that, you know what, I'm just going to explore a lot more. Beyond the Niger factor, oh, I need more money, right? There was also the drive that, now let's even go on a global scale and see what's going on. So I applied to one of the biggest freelance company in the US as a freelance product manager. And surprisingly, I went through, like, when I read about it, a lot of people would say, oh, it was a very tough one, it's difficult, it's that. But I just went through and it was not as difficult. It was difficult, no doubt, but it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be because of all the hype. Like, they call it like the biggest global company for freelancing. So I said, okay, no problem. So when I got in, I just told myself that, you know what, this is almost like a validation for me. And that was how, like, I just started exploring global opportunities. I got my first freelance job in less than 1 month. And it was almost like things were just going. I was like, okay, this is really interesting. But one thing I would say, and for as many people that are listening to me, one thing I would say to you is that you need to conquer yourself first when you want to achieve anything in life. Forget about, I mean, yes, we're here for global talent discussion, but across every area of your life, like anything you want to do, you need to believe that you can do it first before you even attempt to do it. And I think that's one thing that has sort of been my major driver. Every time I want to do something, I always tell myself, I can do it. Somebody has done it before, I am going to do it. And I'll put my best foot forward and just go for it. There's a lot of work involved, no doubt, but yes, just always do that. So that's sort of how I've transitioned from one role to another across different organizations. So I've worked with financial services industries, I've worked in the construction industry, I've worked in manufacturing, I'm currently in an HR tech company, and the experience is practically almost the same across the board. The same thing, it's consistent, right? There's a lot of work to be done. You just need to be open-minded and be willing to learn through the experience and also deliver, put in your best effort and move through that journey. Now, the career path is one side. There's also I call it the non-career path. Throughout that experience and that journey, I was also involved in a lot of volunteer activities without any goal. Like, I just wanted to impact other people. I wanted to contribute to other people. I wanted to help other people. So it wasn't about me looking for any global talent opportunity at any point. It was just me, you know, trying to train people, mentor people, volunteer, freelance, and all that. So I did a lot of free trainings and trainings, well, some paid, some free, most free, to just, you know, beyond, when you teach other people, you learn more because you have to learn so that you can teach, right? So sometimes when I'm teaching, I'm also talking to myself and you know, teaching myself. So that was why I went into, you know, training other people. So that was my objective. I just wanted to learn more. So that was like a push for me to learn more. So I was learning and training people. I was mentoring people on the side. I was doing the remote freelancing job. I was volunteering. I was, you know, just doing all those things and supporting. Like, you have a friend who possibly wants to build a platform, just tell you, oh, please can you help me with the roadmap? Yes, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy what I do. Like, it's something I love to do. So sometimes you don't pay, sometimes you pay, but for me, it was more about the impact that I was going to make. So I was just doing all those things. I had no idea it was going to be useful at any point. Now, over the course of my journey, I never really thought about relocating to any other country. I'm a Niger person. to the bone, right? Because I mean, my family is there, my husband is a die-hard Niger fan, so he's never been interested in us moving, my kids, so it has always been, we're here. So I was just doing my global jobs, and one day I just said to him that, see, all this work I'm doing there, it's not better to just live there and make the money there, live there and still enjoy the benefits. Why am I working there, living in this no lights issue or those? I'm still a Niger fan or what? Yeah, but I just mentioned it and we just brushed over it. Then somehow, how God does things. You want to do so, you just keep pushing different people to you to talk about the same thing. At the same time, different people were talking about different things. But one of my friends, very close friend, went to school together, is one of the biggest tech guys now. If I mention his name, you know him. Just kept hammering, called me Mama. Like, Mama, how far now? This global talent thing, won't you apply? You're just wasting away in this country. Like, I'm not wasting away. My husband is not interested, so I'm not interested. And then every time he would just send me the message randomly and say, are you still sure you don't want to consider it? Even if you're not moving there, right? Just do it it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Just have it as a second option and just keep it in your bag. Like, you don't necessarily need to move. You can just go occasionally and do whatever you want to do and come back. So I said, okay, no problem, I'll think about it. And then I spoke with the owner of Income as well that day. And we just had a chat and he was like, oh, you have a very good portfolio. You should give this a try. I'm like, okay, I'll think about it. And then I read through the requirements, the eligibility criteria, and we're just like, okay, all these things, I was just checking the box. Okay, this one I have it, this one I have it, that one I have it, I've done it before. And everything just dawned on me, like all the things that I was doing subconsciously or without paying so much attention over the years was useful, regardless of how irrelevant I thought it was. When I spoke with Bincom, they just kept pointing out this one. Oh, yes, you can use this one. Oh, I mean, they even had to do a research about me and show me things that even I didn't think was relevant. And I was like, okay, I can actually include this one. Okay. So I had to accept that, yes, I can actually qualify before even applying, right? And once I'd gotten to that point, I had a conversation with my family. And said, okay, let's try it out and see. No pressure. Nobody's sending us away from Nigeria, but let's just try, right? So I applied, looked through all the requirements. I read a lot. Emphasis on reading a lot. I read a lot about the program, a lot of videos. Income has a lot of very beautiful resources on YouTube, as Mudiaga mentioned earlier. There's so many resources as well that you can just read through and get all the information that you need. Because one of the things that you should also notice that the requirements change occasionally, from time to time. So you may need to go back to read up again and again and again before you decide, make your decision, right? So, I mean, I applied. During the process of application, I realized that I needed references from my previous employers. Another lesson, build a very strong relationship with people. Some people will say, oh, I had a very bad boss. Oh, my boss hates me. Oh, my boss is, yeah. You need them someday. You may need them someday. I know some people will say, I'll never need them, but you may need them someday. You never know when they'll come in handy. So have a very good relationship with people because you may need them. So the references that I used were from my previous bosses. They were very happy and willing to help me, to just provide references. Of course, I had to highlight key points that I'll need them to include and all that. And that's another work that you need to do, just so that, they're writing the reference in line with what the expectation of the technician and all that is. There's the standard, there's the requirement, that is necessary. So, yeah. So they were very happy to put a reference forward for me. And so I had all the references ready. I wrote my personal statement. yeah, and I applied. And a few weeks after, I got the email that it went through, and I was happy. And yeah, so that's my journey through school to application. I hope I haven't bored you with my long story.
No, that was a very thorough breakdown of how you started and how you applied. And you said some very interesting, should I call them nuggets? Because my first question was going to be, at what point did you decide to actually give technician a try? Because you said something like it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So what made the decision for you? I know a couple of people were talking about it, but what actually made that decision for you?
For me, it was easy. We're just my husband accepting that, okay, let's go. I'm a Ruth by nature. Right. So I wasn't going to go if my family wasn't going to come with me. So, and I didn't want a situation. So for me, it's all or none. It's either we go and stay and get what we want to get and come back if we want to come back, or we don't go at all. But I mean, he accepted that we should go and all that. I mean, so I did. Maybe I should include that. I did was it SWOT analysis or a pros and cons analysis for him? If we stay, these are the pros. If we go, these are the pros. One of the major pros was that, I mean, for my freelancing job that I was doing, the questions around where is your location? Once you say Nigeria, some companies will not even bother, right? So your location, not necessarily where you're from sometimes, or some people are keen on where you're from, but I mean, your location is an important factor. If there's one particular one I wanted to do it because it was something that I really loved, but somehow they just, and I know that it's because I said I was located in Nigeria because of the bad network and all those funny things. So anyways, I listed the pros and cons. I like to do a lot of analysis. So there is analysis paralysis, but it's good for you to do analysis. But I mean, I listed the benefits and the other side, and we weighed it and said, okay, no problem, let's just go. And yeah, that was how we decided to go.
Fantastic. So if you have any question, please pop it on the chat. And we'll take it as we go along. You said something about relationship, building strong relationship, and I know that came in handy. I just wanted you to elaborate when we are looking for, you mentioned references, how did you, were this relationship that you just built, or you had this relationship before, how did you go about sourcing who will be your reference person, for example? Who will I ask for reference, for example? Is it somebody that I've known for a long time, or is it somebody I've worked with the most? How did you make those kind of choices?
So referencing is one of the most important things that are considered, and the quality of who is referencing you is also a big deal. Now, I did not, I mean, the first company I worked for over 10 years. So, you can imagine the kind of relationships I would have built. I had a very good relationship with my boss, all my bosses. So it was a question of who do I even go to? Like, should I go to this one? Should I go to this? Right. So I had very top guys that I could go to for reference. Now, I had to carefully select them. One, your reference needs to be in the tech world, or be someone, for this particular visa type, because it's the digital technology visa, right? So it requires that, it's not, I'm not sure it's clearly stated, but it would boost, I think it would boost your application if the person referencing you is also a digital person. That's one. Two, the person must be a very senior person. So CEO type level people, group heads, head of this, head of that type of people. So those are the kind of people that gave me the reference. I got 2 CEOs and 1 group head to give me reference, and it was just true. I didn't start building the relationship when I needed them to give me a reference. I'm still in very inclusive conversations with them. I still talk to them occasionally. I interact with them. You know, it's just one of those things that we need to do generally about our relationship with people, regardless of who they are. Even if the person is a gate man, they're important. You don't know when you need them. You don't know. So there is no limit to building relationship. There's a joke about saving people's number on your phone. Some people say, I've deleted the number from my phone. I've deleted the number from you don't know. The number on your phone is not taking rent. It's not going to increase the capacity or reduce the capacity of your phone in any way. It's just a number on your phone. So I mean, just keep the number. You never know when you need the person. So it's just build relationships and nurture those relationships.
So fantastic. So we have a question, and it's I'll just take it because it speaks to references also. So my question is, did any of your reference ask you to write the letter yourself and they will sign? And what can one do in a case like this? Right.
Okay, so this question is 2-pronged. The first one is writing the letter yourself, and then the second one is about the CV of the person. Now, so the first one, they don't have time. Remember I said they're busy executives. They do not have the time to sit down and start thinking about what you've done 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 3 years ago. So you need to create, you may not necessarily write the letter, but you need to create what they need to, what would make it easy for them to go through, edit, make modifications, and sign, right? So it's not necessary. Well, some people will say you should write the letter for them, and that's fine if you can. It's even better for you because you're able to articulate all the things that you've done, all your key achievements, because they're supposed to be talking about your achievements during the course of your experience with them. Some people use maybe professors from the schools they went to and things like that. They need to be able to articulate that this person led something, achieved X, Y, Z, ABC, delivered 1, 2, 3, has this personality, is of good character, all those things. Those busy executives will not have the time to sit down and start thinking about it for you. So it's better. I actually think it's better that you articulate everything, send it to them for review and edit. And then once they're comfortable with it, they can sign and send it back to you. And that's the easiest and best way, I think, would work generally for those type of people. And then for the CV, you don't necessarily need to ask them for their CV. They have in fact, it's always important for you to be sure that they have online presence. What is their social record saying? You don't want someone that when they search Google, because trust me, they would search. Once they search the person, you see criminal record, something, all those kind of things. So you want to be sure that whoever wants to reference you has a good social reputation. The person maybe has a LinkedIn profile, so you can easily just copy their LinkedIn profile and put a link, so that they can do their check as well. Just something to explain who the person is. You don't necessarily need their CV. I mean, I never used anybody's CV. I just wrote a summary about who they are, what they do, their role, and I put a link to their LinkedIn page. And that was it. I didn't have to ask them for their CVs because they may not have CVs. They're CEOs, they started their companies. So asking them for their CV is almost, I don't know. Some of them do have, but I just didn't see the need to.
So a short bio with a link to their LinkedIn page was enough to do it for you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we have another question. Do you have to work in a product-led organization? I work in a tech-enabled food and agri company, and I'm wondering if the experience counts.
Absolutely. That's for the digital-led application, you have to work within a product-led organization. And what is a product-led organization? It's not a traditional organization. You know, I mentioned that I was working within the digital business, the digital arm of a traditional business. That digital arm is a product-led organization because we're delivering digital products, websites, mobile apps, you know, different APIs and all that. So that entity was sort of perceived as a product-led organization. Again, it depends on how you present it. If you go as though you're representing the company, the traditional business is not going to be regarded as one. Then the other organizations that I worked for were all the product-led organizations. And what are they doing? What does product-led mean? It's simple, it's just English. They are delivering technical products, that's all, nothing. So again, don't be afraid of all those big technologies, it's just aesthetics. It is really about what the company does. As long as a tech company or they're delivering a tech solution and you are actively involved, it's not like you're passively involved, or maybe you are, you need to be actively involved in that product journey. Like you are a part of the product development, either as an engineer or as a product manager, or, you know, so there are different roles that are eligible, but you need to, again, read through and see which one you fall in and see the required documents and information that you need to submit.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. I wouldn't have been able to put it that eloquently. So I'll go back to your application, right? Can you remember the criteria you applied against, you know, and the ones you submitted documentations for? Can you tell us about those criteria and how you came to a conclusion that you can meet those criteria? What did you submit against those criteria?
I'm trying to remember, but yeah, the general requirement, so I applied for exceptional talent because I'd worked for more than 5 years. If you've worked for more than 5 years, you're going to be applying as an exceptional talent. If you worked for less than 5 years, you'll be applying as an exceptional promise. And what does that mean? Exceptional talent is that you are a proven leader, you can prove that you are a recognized leader within your field. There are different documentations to back that up. And then as an exceptional promise, what you're going to be providing will prove that you are an emerging leader within your field. Now, it's the documentation required. So to prove that you are an emerging leader, you need to prove, beyond your day-to-day job, is also other organizations that are coming to you to sort of ask for your help or your support in different areas. I was involved with different organizations, like thinking back now, I'm wondering how did I do it? Anyways, there was the Women in Product Global that had their event. I was invited to be one of the panel moderators to attend that. So I put that as well because it was a major event. I put that. All the different products that I worked on across all the different companies that worked, whether as a freelancer or as a staff, you know, I put all that together. I had all the references. I think those are basically, maybe you can, if I can see the documentation. So the good thing is that there are examples of the type of documents that you can provide depending on your role. So for engineers, for example, you probably need to provide your GitHub repo or something that shows your contribution to the tech community. I also provided different links to different online platforms that featured me at some point talking about my contribution. I did some videos for a company India or Bangladesh, one of those countries, just training about product management. So there were a lot of online videos that people could refer to. They would look at the number of views and the type of organization as well. So there's nothing that is irrelevant, right, across all the different things that you've done, as long as it is related to, and one of the things that would sort of propel you and put you in a position of leadership, right? Whether as an emerging leader or as a leader or as an existing leader. All of that's the statistics, but yeah. So submitting all those documents was what I did, and yeah.
All right, fantastic. Someone is asking, I think I can answer this. If using a startup CEO as a reference, how long should the company have existed? So the focus is is not on the startup, is the profile of the CEO that you're using. So we can have a highly profiled CEO who is just leaving a big brand or another brand to start a small brand. Doesn't that mean he's no longer sought after? He's still the CEO, is still that high profile tech individual. So it is the individual, the profile they've been able to build over time that count, not necessarily the company that they work in currently, right? Somebody asked, what about someone that has worked as tech support engineer for an IT company? Can they apply? Someone that has worked as tech support engineer for an IT company. So if I can answer that, tech support engineers usually is IT services. And this visa is focused on the product-led organization, right? It's focused on product-led individuals who have contributed in one way or the other in building a product, launching a product, running a product, not necessarily just services. So for that individual, you may want to start volunteering for product-led projects, right? So, and see how you can contribute to building a digital product, right? I don't know if you have any additional answers to that.
Yeah, I mean, you've answered it correctly. Two things. First, make sure that you're not in the consulting side of things or, the services side of things. Be a part of the process. There are different skills and different roles that have been clearly highlighted on the gov.uk website, showing all the skills that are required. You have DevOps, systems engineers, back-end and front-end engineers, data scientists, data engineers, front-end developers, mobile app developers, UI designers, all of these people that are embedded within. Those are on the technical side. Now, there's a second side of things, which is the business skills that are required. So so you can either apply as a technical person or as a business person. Now, I don't know where exactly the IT specialist support fits, but I imagine that it would be around business skills. If you're not actively coding and actively, involved in the process of building or, scaling a product. Now, for the business skills, there are different roles that are there. And I mean, the list is long. Just go to gov.uk website and read up on all the skills and see where you fit in. But mostly it is really for product managers, startup founders, business leads, commercial leads, solution experts, all those sort of roles that sort of puts you in a leadership position where you sort of have authority to impact a product. Those are the kind of roles that they would attribute or call business skills. Now, nothing is cast in stone and nothing is fixed because some of these things change, frequently. So you need to check and read through by yourself and see where you can potentially fit in. And the thing about it is, one of the things I've also realized is that some of us do roles that is called something else within our organization. But when you check the job description and the scope of what you're doing, it is actually different, right? So you need to redefine your role for yourself. just for your own career development. I mean, beyond you wanting to go through the global talent journey or anything like that, you need to define your role and call yourself what you're actually doing. It would really help a lot, because that was one of the things that, I learned through my journey. I was called a particular, I think I was called UX manager or user experience manager or something like that at some point. But when I looked at my role, I went for one training, and when we were talking about the roles, I was saying that, oh, I'm a UX manager. I'm like, no, what you're doing is UX plus XYZ. So I had to redefine. When I came back, I said to my boss, I don't want to be called this. This is my role, and whether or not that's in my letter, this is what I want to be called, and this is what I want. This is what I do. So sometimes we find ourselves, especially in Nigerian companies, you see that one person is doing like 10 people's work. That's a given. It is good. It has its good side. It has its bad side. The good side is that you're going to be able to learn and relate across all the different sides of the business, right? It is good. But the bad side is that you are going to be jack of all trades and potentially master of none, which is something that also affects a lot of Nigerians when they come to UK or US, because they like specialist roles, like you are a UI designer. Don't say you are UI UX. Choose one. Are you a UI designer or a UX designer? Like they like specializing in, like they like one person being responsible for something and owning it and knowing it true and true. So yes, you can know everything, but also pick the one that you think you are best in and try to focus on that area and build your skills around that area and to grow. Look at what you really love. Maybe we'll know what you really love, maybe what brings the biggest money, I don't know, but identify what you want, identify your selling point and maximize on that and then take it on to the next level as much as you can.
Fantastic. So it's important to profile yourself correctly and don't just run with any label, run with a definition of what you want to be and the role you're actively working in. That's a very good one. So let's come back to you while we wait for more questions. So now you've relocated, how was it settling down? And you spoke about moving, you wouldn't have moved without your family. So you moved with your family. How was that experience? Did your husband had to apply for technician visa too? Or how was it like? Then tell us about settling in. Did you have to get a job? You sound like you already had international job going on, but did you have to, get another job in the UK? If we can allow us into a sneak peek view into your journey from that angle. Yeah.
Okay, so moving, there are a lot of considerations. There are a lot of key considerations. First, I had to do a lot of research about the different locations, the different counties across. The UK is quite big, and you don't want to live in a place that you don't like. You just get frustrated and you run back to Nigeria almost immediately, right? So I had to do a bit of research, and one of the things we decided to do was that I would come in first and sort of see the terrain and decide if we're going to actually move or not. But before then, I'd already gotten like different offers. Okay, backtrack. After I got my visa, my husband and children applied as well, and they got it. Once you have it, your dependents would have it. Some people apply together as a family, but we were testing the waters. We were not really keen, like we're not really serious in quotes about it. We just wanted to see, let's just try this out. It wasn't something that we were all about like that. So I had to do mine first. And once immediately it came through, the next day we applied for my family, and they got theirs as well. Now, as soon as I got my visa, I started opening up the opportunity to see. I wasn't actively searching for jobs, right? Because I was working, and even after I moved, I was still working for a Nigerian company for a long time, even though I was also consulting for the freelance company, which was, so I was sort of comfortable. I wasn't really under pressure to get a job in the UK, because I was also very deliberate about the type of job. First, I wanted a remote job. I didn't want a job that would make me go to the office like every time. And then I wanted a job that, I didn't want a job with a company that has a big name, if you get what I mean, because big names attract some kind of additional concerns. You find that some smaller companies or some silent companies pay a lot more than those big names. Anyways, I wanted to work here because you're going to be paying a lot of bills and you don't want to be converting Naira or dollars. Dollar is also learning where pounds is. So you need to earn pounds to be able to get the comfort level that you want. And of course, you want to make your money back now because it's not cheap to apply to the UK. So obviously you want to work here. So I was open to opportunities and I was open to chats. So I got my first offer while I was still in Nigeria before I moved. Now, I delayed my resumption because I had a project ongoing with my Nigerian company that I wanted to conclude. And then I wanted to also come here and see for myself before starting, right? So I had to fast track all the move and all that. And then I was also doing the project with the other US companies. So I was super busy with a lot of things at the time. Now I had my offer, I had different offers, but the one I really wanted, I moved the start date to later. I'm going to start, but let me finish up with some of these things because I didn't want to be under too much pressure. Relocating is a lot of work. It's not as simple as just leave your house and move here and enjoy life, right? So I had to come in for about almost 3 months before my family moved in. Now, the goal was clear. Check the country. Is it a place that we want to move to or not? Otherwise, our rent has not expired in Nigeria. We've not sold our house. We can move back. Number two, I booked my return ticket. Let me even tell you, to show you the extent, like I already said, okay, I was going to go back and then we can now decide to come back and all. So I was open to staying fully or not. But when I came and I saw, it's not my first time in the UK, but this time it was for me to stay. It's not so easy. Finding a house, especially when, again, back to getting a job. One of the reasons why I had to take a job almost immediately was because for you to rent an apartment, they would ask you for your proof of income. And if your proof of income is not from the country, they feel like they're not sure, they can't verify some things, they don't know. So you need to prove that you're actually earning from here and you can pay your rent. So you need to prove that. So that was one of the things that made me decide that, okay, I was going to start almost immediately. Then the location as well is very critical. I'm in the West Midlands, but I had to consider all the different areas. Do I want to stay in Scotland? Do I want to stay up north? Do I want to stay in London? Do I want to stay the different options? And deciding on where to stay is a major factor because you need to consider school, especially if you have kids. You need to consider the environment. You don't want a place where it's chaotic and noisy and all that. You need to consider support structure, support system. Do you know anybody around? If there's an issue, is there someone you can run to? You need to there's so many things to consider. So I had to carefully look for a place where you'll have that sort of peace of mind. Beyond the renting, because rent is one of the major things that can be hard sometimes, especially if you don't have a job here. So getting a place to rent, getting a good place to rent. There are so many places to rent, but getting a good place to rent is one major struggle for a lot of people that relocate. So had to sort that out quickly. Look for schools for the kids and apply to schools, because it's not, oh, you just walk into a school and say, oh, here are my children, accept us. It's free school, in quotes, but I mean, it's actually free school. Like they're free schools, they're paid schools, but they're good, very good free schools. So you have to carefully choose your school. And school has to be close to your house. And for you to get a school, you must have proof of address. For you to get proof of address, you must have a job, in quotes, or a source of income. So there are like layers of steps that you need to follow: get a house, open an account, do this one. So I had to sort out all those things, and I needed that 3 months to fully do all that and stabilize before, bringing the family over, because I didn't want to start carrying children to run all about to place to do all those things. I mean, my husband was also trying to wrap up work and all that in Nigeria and all that, and also opening up opportunities for him to move on here and continue with his career. So there are a lot of things that we need to put in place. So I mean, it's not something you just rush into and say, oh, I want to move tomorrow. It's something you have to plan. And I mean, there's steps. When you go through this, and I'm sure a lot of you would go through, when you do, there's a project that Income is also working on in partnership with Technician to create like a welcome party document that will sort of guide you through settling in and all that. There's so many support structures. There's WhatsApp group for global talents across different, so sometimes they have meetups in different locations. So settling in is not so easy, I won't lie to you, but you need to plan. If you plan well, it would be easy for you. I wouldn't say it was too hard for me because I had very good friends. There's one of my friends on this call, I just saw his name pop up, is a celebrity, but it's coded and I don't want to unveil him. It's going to break my head if I do that. But it was one of the very fantastic support system that helped me through my settling in as well. It came all the way from Northampton or somewhere, all the way from there to London to help me carry my luggage when I was moving to Manchester. Like it was very supportive, and you need that level of support for you to settle in nicely. And then had my former colleague who was amazing. When I wanted to move to West Midlands, she practically hosted me in her house for all the time I was house hunting. I was working, I was house hunting. Like, you need that. And that's why I said relationships. Who would have known that I would need her at this point to help me? We worked together like many, many years ago, and voila, she was there to accommodate me. People don't accommodate, Nigerians don't accommodate people in this country. Don't get it twisted, right? But I mean, she was there to accommodate me for that period while I was searching for house, advising me. In fact, we went for some inspections together. So you need people around you, and in choosing a location to settle in, you need those sort of support. Otherwise, you meet new people, no doubt. I mean, there was one amazing family that I met. In fact, I just call them and tell them, send them the address of a place I want to inspect, and they would practically drive all the way there to go and inspect, send me pictures and videos. People that I never met physically before, it was just phone calls, introductions, or my friend, meet my friend's friend, the kind of conversations. And, you just need to be able to build relationships and nurture relationships because they would help you through your journey settling there.
Okay, thank you very much. Shout out to our celebrity friends. We will need you. Thank you for the support and for the help. So as we begin to sort of wind this down, I know there's a lot have been said, but I wanted us to address the different segment of people in the room, like I mentioned earlier. So we'll start with the beginner, people that are just tech enthusiasts. They're hearing some of these things for the first time, and it can be daunting hearing, portfolio, profile. What would you say to those category of people in the room?
So for what category again? Sorry.
Beginners, tech enthusiasts, beginners, starting up in their career in tech? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the best time to begin to build your portfolio, because it's even better and easier knowing that you have an end in mind. Unlike some of us that didn't know that there was a potential end, we're just doing things, and didn't know that there was a reward or there was a benefit for doing those things. So you already have a goal, and it's easy for you. It's even better that you're starting off on a clean slate where you can practically plan the things that you want to do and work through that. Thankfully, Bincom has a lot of fantastic opportunities that won't just come to you naturally, especially because you're just starting off. If you possibly maybe build a portfolio, then people start chasing you all around. Oh, come and talk to us about this one. But you can build that through the different platforms available that have Bincom. Other opportunities, don't limit yourself to your day-to-day job. I know that it is a lot of, I'll talk about portfolio, Emmanuel. I know that it is a lot of work and it requires a lot of sleepless nights sometimes, going out of your way to do things, even when it's not convenient. But it is important that you volunteer, impact, give back to the tech industry. Just, even if it's not convenient, your friend is building an app, help them design it, help them create a roadmap. If you are in the product world, like if you are an engineer, there's one side gig somewhere. Beyond the money that you get from that side gig is also the fact that you built it, right? So do it regardless. If you are a data scientist, solve one problem, solve a data problem, pick a project. Nigeria has a lot of opportunities, a lot of different problems that you can pick on and say, okay, for this one, I'm going to solve it with X, Y, Z. I have a former colleague as well who started off with Microsoft data trainings and now is doing amazingly well, training different people. I remember how it started where we practically would do all night. There will be no light. It will put like torchlight and like light and all that to record videos and do all those things. And now he's an ambassador for Microsoft and he's doing very well. And he's still contributing to the tech world. So just go beyond, extend your, I know we spend a lot of time on social media. While you're doing that, also contribute. So let your contributions be tech related if you want to go with tech direction. There's also the humanity part as well. There is the arts and culture option. So depending on the area that interests you or the area that you are interested in, that's where you should go. But for this purpose of this conversation, we're talking about tech, right? So be very open to contributing to open repos and all that. There's so many opportunities for you. All you need to do is just use your Google search and you'll be amazed at what opportunities you find. Google has the biggest power as far as I'm concerned, because all the information you're looking for is right there at your fingertips. So you can just cut down your social time by half, or like 20% or 30%, and use that to contribute to the digital world, and you'll be amazed at what you get from it.
So I know you're going to come to Emmanuel's question. He was asking, what do you mean by portfolio? But I want to also ask, the next question ties into what I was going to ask next, to say there are other set of people in the room, and this time around is the intermediary guys. Somebody said, I'm a junior developer, engineer. So they're already in the space. They're already building something. They're already working on their portfolio. They might not call it portfolio, but they're already working on something. What kind of advice would you give them, towards working to becoming a global talent?
Okay, so what I would say for people who are already in the space is that don't limit yourself to your current role. I go back to that again. Take up side projects, call it side gigs, call it freelancing, call it, I don't know, just take up side projects that would help you, that would increase the number of products that you work on. I know developers that have practically worked on only one product all their career, and they've worked for 15 years or 20 years, but they've just been building that one product and that's it. That's not going to get you too far, because you are competing against people from across the world, from the US, everywhere. Like, everybody's applying for the global talent visa. So you're not the only one. So think about it, that if you were the one reviewing applications and you see someone that has done like 10, that has built 10 products, and someone that has built only one, yes, sometimes you may consider the impact, but you're also looking at the numbers of products that the person has built. And that's what a portfolio is: the number of projects and products that you have worked on, the number of solutions that you have created through your career journey. That's your portfolio. Now, for people within that career range or the career position, I think that this is also an opportunity for you to put yourself out there. I know it's cliche and it's just general lingo when people say put yourself out there, but the reality is that if you're not talking about what you're doing, nobody's going to talk about it for you. And nobody's going to come to your house and knock and say, hey, Ifejesu, Emmanuel, what are you doing? Everybody else is putting themselves out there, talking about be an authority within your industry. If you are a developer, talk about the challenges you face as a developer. Talk about, and there are channels through which you can. I mean, there's Twitter. I know people use Twitter for other things, but you can use Twitter. I'm not a Twitter person, so I don't know what's going on there. But there's LinkedIn as well, where you can post different things about your industry. Be an authority, be a statement, start up a small community or a group of friends talking about things, solve problems and talk about it, post about those things, volunteer in global organizations, even if they don't pay you, but be a part of what's going on, attend global events. That's one of the things that you should also do. If there's currently London Tech Week going on. I'm not there physically, but I'm joining online. Attend those events, because it will just open you up to different opportunities that you never imagined. So widen your horizon. One of my lecturers in uni would always say, think globally and act locally, right? You're in your local environment, you're acting within that sphere, but you're thinking globally. And when people are talking about different things, you are thinking beyond what they're saying and thinking on a global scale, but you're acting locally to implement those things. So don't limit yourself to your role, and don't limit yourself to one product that you're working on or two products that your company has. Be the one to suggest other potential solutions or opportunities that the company can possibly even do that they were not thinking about. Start up your own small gig or small product on the side. Just don't limit yourself to one thing, right? And it would help you move faster.
Thank you. I think you've done justice. Thank you for the time. I'm just going to run through some of I don't think we have any more questions. I think you have thoroughly answered even more than we anticipated. So I'm just going to run through some of the slides that we have, just share more free information to people about this community. So you've heard it all. Join a community, network, connect, build relationship, read far and wide, tailor your conversations around what you're working on, around your talent, your product that you're working on, the product that you're building. Tailor your conversations around those, read far, write articles, use your social media platform wisely to sell yourself. Start with LinkedIn, work on your profile on LinkedIn, make sure it's attractive. Make sure if you find your profile, make sure your profile speaks to who you want to be and who you are becoming, on LinkedIn. So I spoke about different visa route and different visa path earlier, and there is a campaign. I spoke about a campaign going on right now. Move to the UK in 3 to 6 months. This speaks to startup visa. This is not a student route. This is not global talent. It's a startup visa, and with a budget of 5,000 to budget of £5,000, you can move to the UK and move your business to the UK. The benefit of doing that is that you can easily raise capital for if you're looking to raise funds for your startup or your business, and you easily settle into the economy, right? And you're not limited to working 20 hours. You can work in your startup and also work in other startup organizations within the UK ecosystem. So it's a fantastic opportunity, right? If you are interested in that, if you have if you have a business, a startup, or you have an idea you want that you think has a market in the UK, you should totally exploit or explore this opportunity, right? Move to the UK in 3 to 6 months. To reach us, again, beancom.net/emigrate, or you can just drop a message on the chat and we would get back to you. I spoke about communities also, the Beancom communities. We have the WhatsApp community, we have Telegraph community. I think a link to the community will drop on the chat. You can simply click on any of the link that you are comfortable joining, right? We'll usually give free information, free coaching sections in those communities to the most engaged Emigrate community members. So it's for everybody who is engaging the platform, right? For the most engaging community member, we reward them monthly with free coaching session. And these coaching sessions are worth up to $700, right? And you can also get some benefit from the premium Emigrate Circle if you are very engaging, right? How to win these sessions? Simple. Like, share, comment on our post, invite a friend or a colleague, ask and answer questions within the community, share useful information and news around tech-enabled visa opportunity, make suggestions. So help somebody else, right? Pay it forward. Help somebody else, all the information you have gathered, all the knowledge you have. Help somebody else, proofread their application. Help somebody else, proofread their CV, for example, and you will stand a chance of winning a coaching session worth $700. Generally be helpful. Like I like to put it, paid forward for the next man, for the next person, all the free information you have gotten. Remember, Emigrate focuses on tech-enabled visa pathway to relocation and settlement. We prioritize quality of engagement over quantity. So don't come and spam the group and say you are engaging. It's the quality of engagement, and they have to be tailored around tech-enabled pathway. So good luck, everybody. Technician visa, we have free resource, right? If you go on technician.io, you will find the technician visa guide, right? There are free information online and that you can leverage, read. We have discuss.tnvisaforum.org. These you can find free information. You can read. Our guest spoke about reading. So you can take your time. If you want to travel, if you want to relocate, you want to become a global citizen, it's not a passive journey. It's a very active journey of building your profile. So read, engage communities, engage thought leaders, right? There are also, free resource on understanding the UK technician visa. There are free resources online. Also, we have ambassadors, we have coaches who can handhold you through the process and help you position rightly, help you, craft your statements. For example, your personal statement in such a way that is globally attractive, right? Many of us have done a lot of things. We are not just able to put them in the right context that is sellable, right? And we have coaches that can walk you through those parts. So for those people that have gotten your endorsement, you want to, we have a lot of, the speaker also talked about welcome party, which is documentation that Bincom is put together in partnership with TechNation to help you ease settling down. So you're moving into the UK already, you already have your endorsement, you already have your tickets, quote unquote, and you want to know, what do I do first? How do I open a bank account? How is this tax system? Which bank should I go to? How do I get an accommodation? We have a welcome party document that we can share with you free of charge, and for members of the immigrant community, and general, and anybody that's interested. Actually, we love to help. What we do here is to help people, as much people as possible, to settle in, to become globally attractive. So if you need help also, you can talk to us for free. If you need help around applying for TechNation visa endorsement application, you can talk to us for free, and you can book a session for free. If you stay to the end, we have a 30-minute free session for you if you are interested in TechNation visa endorsement. So drop a message, say, I'm interested in TechNation visa. We'll get back to you, right? For those of you that are interested, right? You've started the journey, you have a bottleneck you're trying to loop over. You're just about to start the journey, you're putting your documentations together. We can help you, right? Put it together. So thank you, Yanju Lawal, for such an amazing time today. I don't know if you have any more, I don't want to ask for more, but any last words? Let me see if we have questions. Okay, so the link has been dropped to the various immigrant community, WhatsApp. So take any of this link, join this link, drop a comment on this link, say you were part of the open day event today, 15th of June, and you're interested in TechNation, for example, and those conversations will continue from there. We'll also reach out to you through this. So if you're interested, please drop your email address also, so that we can send you a message via email also. Thank you very much. Yanju, are you still there? Okay. Okay. So if you're interested, I see one email address, just one person interested. Okay, two. All right, drop your email address and we will send you a message with a form, a link with a form, and just a short form for you to fill so that we can start understanding what you need and where you are in your journey. So feel free when you're responding to us to write detail where you are in your journey. What kind of help are you looking out for? So that we can go straight to the point. All right. So thank you, everybody, for such a good time. This video is going to be live. It's live on YouTube. Please share the link with people in your community. Let them know that there is information here. Let them know that there's a team here that's ready to walk them through becoming a globally attractive talent. Right. Like I said, pay it forward, help somebody to get this information, help somebody to become globally attracted or attractive. And yeah, at least get the reward of being helpful. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you. And if you leave here with any advice, my advice for you guys is to take action, right? Take action. A lot has been said. Take action, start building those networks, start building those relationships. You're going to need those references at some point. It might not be TechNation, it might be the O1 visa, it might just be a political appointment, who knows, right? You're going to need those references. So start building relationship, Stop deleting those numbers from your phone. It doesn't take any bytes away from the phone. Save those contacts, call out, reach out to them, right? Read, go online, use Google, right? Google, whatever you've heard today that you're not clear on, or that you want to double check, it's online. Just Google it. You're going to find more information around, this topic from different sources, right? Also check some of those sources and make sure you're reading the right source, right? So that's why we give you information from Technation's own website and from gov.uk website. Those informations are verified. They were not just uploaded by anybody. They were verified, uploaded by the body that endorses for Technation visa, and they are also verified by the UK government, the ones on uk.gov, right? So that is very, very important. So take action, guys. Thank you. I think we're gonna call it a day now. If there are no more questions, we're going to reach out to those that have dropped their emails, send them an email, reach out to them. If you are interested, also please go ahead. I spoke about a lot of packages within the Bincom ecosystem, not just immigrate. There's also Labs by Bincom. If you're looking at build, if you work in a service segment of tech, so you're not in a product-led tech business, we're not saying, oh, quit your job and go and look for product. Now we have Lab by Bincom that allows you partner with other team members to join a cohort and build a product-led digital technology business, right? Or software or products, a digital product, right? So we have, I think, about 3 cohorts running or 2 cohorts running at the moment. You can join the next cohort and, you're working in tech services. You can join the next cohort and build a digital-led product, right? Also, okay, we're going to check the link. Also, we have the Bincom Global Tech, right? Bincom Global Tech, where you can learn from beginners to intermediary, whatever tech skill you want to learn, right? You just go on the site and check it out. If you want to become a Python data management expert, starting with Python, you want to become a full stack developer, front end and back end, there are different classes, different sections that will take you through. So take advantage of this resource. Many of them are free. Some of them are premium and they are paid for, right? Because we have to pay experts to come in to teach, so we have to pay them. So those ones are premium, but we also have free packages within the ecosystem. So thank you very much for your time. For those, I think if you can copy the WhatsApp link, I think it works, but I would check on it. But if you drop your phone number, yeah, fantastic. We're going to add it to the WhatsApp group. So thank you very much. And also the Telegram group. And also feel free to join other communities, right? The Telegram community is there, the LinkedIn community is there. Feel free to join other communities with the other immigrant communities also. We also share free information within those communities. So thank you very much. Thank you for coming out. Special thanks to our speaker, Yanju Lawal, for such an amazing time today, for taking us through her journey and sharing her insight and knowledge with us. Thank you. We appreciate your time. Thank you, guys. We're done. See you next session, next open day. Right. Pay attention to our social media handles. We're going to be sharing updates on the next Immigrate Open Day, right? And the next speaker promises to be exciting. Invite your colleague, invite your friends, invite tech enthusiasts, invite tech experts. You know, we're just giving out free information here for everybody. It is free to attend. Just click on the link and you'll be part of this session. So thank you for your time, everyone. Bye for now.
Hello, Chisom. Chisom, are you there? Mr. MJ. Hello, sir.
Hello. I'm here.
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can.
I'm sorry, sir. So I know people dropped their numbers, but
I will get it across to you. I'll get it across to you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Are we still live?